Greetings, village leaders. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Medieval Dynasty. Episode 22. Hiring more helpers for our frontier town. While I recap last episode or last stream, because last stream was a marathon, I am going to be riding my donkey back to my home because I left off not at home. And actually, maybe I made this a little too loud. Okay, so to recap last stream, we started off by deciding to build a village southeast of what I'm going to call the capital, because we have access to a lot of flat open fields. We've got access to a mine, and we have relative protection from wild animals. They're not too close to be encroaching. We built a small hamlet, or I think it's technically classified as a farm. We have 4 other people other than ourselves, 2 men, 2 women. We've got houses for everybody, a woodshed, a well, a hunting lodge, a barn and a farm shed, a donkey shelter and a pigsty, a sewing hut, smithy, and workshop, and then food and general resource storages. So a very basic setup. I have done virtually none of the main quest lines.
Move on.
And I was, towards the end of last stream, working on hunting for trophies. So occasionally what will end up happening is that the representative for the king will issue a decree or an order that you can fulfill as like a village leader. And if you fulfill it, your reputation with the king improves, as well as get like coins and dynasty rep and all that stuff. And we ended up working towards that, but it's to hunt moose and deer. And really the bottleneck is the drop rate.
Onward.
The drop rate for skulls is about 10%. So I might, if I want to fulfill this, we'll have to kill like 15 to 30 moose and, 100 deer or something like this. Which is why I'm inclined to give up. I will, however, offer you guys a chance to vote for it regardless, but I am not particularly looking forward to trying to hunt 120 deer for 12 skulls. I mean, oh, hey, crossbowman. Oh, and an archer. Hey, you're gonna get run over. Serpentine. While doing the recap, I don't particularly, I don't like getting messed with by, bandits, so. Ouch, he really hit me hard. So what I was gonna do at the start of the stream, having recapped, I think enough, is to have you guys vote for the priority. If you want me to continue, working on the King's Quest, despite the fact that I would say it's probably going to take me 2 hours or so to hunt when I need to hunt, you can vote for 1. There's other quests as well for me to consider. I can improve my weapons and tools, I can expand my village, I can improve my village for happiness or aesthetics, or just something of my choice. So I leave it up to you. Ow, jeez. Come on, guy. Shoot me in the gut. Did the crossbowman give up? Yeah, I think the crossbowman's on the other side. Well, I will happily take your coin. I don't really know how you have a fraction of a coin. And I'll pull my bronze arrows out of you. Before I fight that crossbowman, because I don't like bandits. I like killing bandits. Let's go ahead and maybe heal? Although I don't see any broadleaf plantains around. Oh, who's that? Oh, that's a hog. Oh, here's a broadleaf plantain. So these are like the heal consumables. Alright, I'm really not healthy, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Oh, I just dropped him in a shot. I must have hit him in the head or something. Because, one-shotting him... No? Oh, yeah. In the neck. Get wrecked, loser. So much for highwaymen. Highway corpses. Alright. Alright, character is pretty hungry. I'm not immediately worried about that, though. Ooh, is this the right... No, it's not the right season for ripe berries. I could eat uncooked meat, but I'm not gonna bother. I'll get home before I'm, like, starving. Alright, continue my way back home. So the other quest I have, medieval marketing, is another one where we had to plant beetroots, and that's already in process, and that's the only other quest I had. I could take bounties from the bounty board. That wouldn't be necessarily unreasonable. And in the interest of taking a look at what bounties are being offered, I'm gonna ride into town. At this point, I'm not really interested in taking like low-hanging fruit bounties. It has to be pretty good yield. Shooting the head is a kill, shooting the neck is sadistic. Well, only if you're aiming for the neck. I wasn't. I was just aiming for him in general. I'm not good enough to aim for a neck from like 70 meters away. Oh, bounty board. Right, that's why I'm here. That's not where the bounty board is. Do I have anything to sell while I'm here? I have furs, but I don't really need to sell those. Meat. I have 180 meat. I could probably sell like all of that, because I don't think I'm going to need that much meat.
Move on.
And then this is the local lord who's a bit of a tool. Actually, calling him a tool is probably the nicest thing I could say about him. He's like worse than a tool. Alright, selling off my meat so I'm not encumbered. And let's check the bounty board, because it looks like you guys are going to have to be my choice. I'm totally okay with that. Alright, notice board literally is nothing. Got it. Now, at the end of today, it will be a new season. We are currently in spring. We're going to be going to summer. So, there will be new notices at the start of next season. So we can consider heading back to the bounty board and checking out what's new once that turns over. So other things we've been doing is trying to expand our farm fields, because the farm fields are kind of the main way we make money, as well as me doing some personal mining and then turning those ores and ingots into tools. So that's our moneymaker, for lack of a better term. And I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do now that it is obviously my choice. So one thing I need to do is to address... I don't really care about beetroot seed. So yeah, I can ignore the whole, like, I need beetroot seed. The reason being, I wasn't planning on... I only planted as many seeds as I was offered from the quest giver. I don't need to plant any more than that. Salted meat. Well, that will help my my hunger. What else is here? Stones. That's about it. Got some coin, got some copper. That'll work for me. All right. So I am planning on spending time on number 3. So the current priority is build a new house and woodcutter.
Let's go.
One of the things I like the least in this game is like having to cut down trees for a long time. So I want a lot of NPCs doing that work for me. Oh, before I forget, going into my management screen, for wood items, I don't want to burn anything but firewood. For water items, I don't want to drink anything but milk. Everything else is for sale. And for food items, for now it's going to be dried meat, but I hope to expand everyone's diets soon. Radlocker, Azaroon, Brazit, thank you for the resubs and the cheer. And Sandra too. I will drink to that. The reason for that is I don't want my villagers burning all my sticks that I need to do like buildings, like wattle style houses with. So not allowing them to burn the sticks for firewood is ideal. And that's something I had to set up last stream. Last I played. So finally we're home. I could have taken a wagon, but I decided to, you know, do it cheaper. So this is our beautiful hamlet with our farm fields and village houses. And I am planning on building a new house and then building a woodcutter. One of the rules of the series was I was not going to force people to live together, like in the same house. The game will allow you to put two people of opposite genders in the same home and sort of like play matchmaker. But they will matchmake on their own. Not pretty infrequently, but they will technically do it on their own. And I was intending to allow the NPCs to decide who they want to be in relationships with, rather than me, like, play matchmaker. Alright, just putting away some of the junk I've got. You know, I don't even have a hammer on me. It would help to have a hammer. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to build a house without a hammer, but it doesn't work all that well. So here's my storage box. Now I do have the fur and leather put away. I'm actually going to move most of this stuff into general storage. I don't really need it as personal storage. Some of the stuff I'll keep as personal storage, but not all of it. So let's see. Copper arrows, copper axe, leather, fur, clay vials. Cool. So hammer, pickaxe. Ooh, you know what? I don't have an axe. Like an axe. So I'm going to want one of those too. But let's focus on the house and the woodcutter before I get distracted with other tasks. So we have a woodshed there, and the person that cuts down trees here. And I am planning on grouping them up together again. So we'll do the house first. So we're going to do a simple, small stone house. And I'm going to have it be roughly opposite the other house that we've got. I'd like the foundation to be as low as possible. I don't want the aesthetics of, like, super stilt house, if I can help it. There are stumps that probably are blocking my sight, so let's de-stump the area. Between the road and the mountainside, hillside, whatever it is, we'll just decide that, like, this is where we're going to be building. So let's try this again. House, simple, small stone. Yep, it was the stumps. Now, the question I have for you guys is, should I enable quick build? So, I do have quick craft, which is that you craft everything within the stack that you're currently crafting in one go. Quick build is the same sort of idea, so that everything, it wouldn't build the house in one swipe, but I'll show you the difference. So here is like quick build for the foundation. It took all of the logs that I had available to me and put them all in all at the same time, rather than like one at a time. And it's up to you whether I use this or not. It feels like a bit of a cheat. But by that same token, I'm like the only one who's building in this entire village. So, despite feeling like a cheat, it's you know, handy. And it looks like you guys are thinking, do keep quick build on? So here's what quick build looks like. And what I can do is I can, oh, there we go, resource storage too. What I can do is I can, have you guys pulled again maybe at the end of this construction project, so that if you really don't like it, you can overrule it. So I need to grab a bunch of stone and more logs and thatch or straw. So I think what I'll do is I'll poll you guys after I finish building this house, so that you can make more of an informed vote, because some of you may have not known what quick build was, and now that you see it for yourself, you might decide that it's too cheese, or maybe not. Okay, I'm holding 100 kilograms of building materials. Hey, Donkey. Donkey's making herself scarce. I don't blame her. She's like, nah, I'm not coming. Now, one of the issues we had last stream was that this woodshed was outside the sphere of influence of the resource house, but the resource house will be within the sphere of influence once this gets built. Okay, I obviously need more stones. It's basically at my capacity. So let's see. 4, 8, 8, 16, 20, 28 stones. I think I'm missing. It would take me longer if I didn't have quick build on. Yeah. Absolutely. It would take me maybe like 10 times longer to build a house. Possibly a little bit more. You also can move structures, yes. So if you right-click with the hammer out, you can hit move, and it will move structures around. But this is not something I'm going to need to do. My resource building can be upgraded, and as soon as I upgrade it, we'll be able to instant move stuff. Alright, so the house is done. And then here is the poll about enabling quick build. So if you want to overturn what you had voted on, you're welcome to do so if you find it too cheese. I am happy to go either way. Alright, the other building that we wanted is another extraction building. So we're going to do another woodshed. Game saying it's too uneven around here. I'm sort of curious if these stumps are blocking it, despite not seeming like it's in its bounding box. Hey, Glitch, thank you for the cheer. Oh, I saw a little green. You shall be green for me. You know, I could even move it. Maybe I'll put it down here. Yeah. I might move some of the other ones. Alright, woodshed built. And apparently you want me to keep quick build. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and move the workshop. And yeah, this isn't very realistic that you can just like pick up workshop and move it, but whatever. Doesn't need to be realistic, it's a video game. And I'm moving the workshop closer to our resource storage and barn storage. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll also move the houses so that they're a little bit tighter to the building. There we go. So the two woodsheds across the street from one another, they'll be rival woodcutters. We'll have we'll have them fight to see who can cut the most wood for our village. Speaking of which, I am probably going to need to process some firewood. So before I forget, because I think we're just about out of firewood, let's go ahead and make some firewood so that our villagers don't run out of heating sources. It looks like we're going to keep quick build. Now the other question I have, and I can probably already assume, but do you want me to keep quick craft enabled? So quick craft is you craft everything within the stack rather than like one at a time. Have you guys decide on that too? Yeah, I like the look of this more anyway, with the buildings closer together. I might eventually, once I have the resources, change where the windows are, so that the windows are street facing, because right now they're not, which is a little weird. But right now, my current priority is to go hire a woodcutter. Before I go into town, it might make sense for me to... Let's first get rid of this journal thing, because I don't really want to track this anymore. It might make sense for me to see what I can sell before I go to town. Try to make some money. But it looks like quick craft, we're going to keep on. So I currently have no axe. And if we're going to hire a... I'll buy this. If we're going to hire a woodcutter, we're going to need another axe. So I'll make 2 bronze axes. One for me and one for the new extractor. Okay, so there's now an axe in the stockpile for them. It also would not be a terrible idea for me to heal at some point. Well, you know what? It's going to be end of season pretty soon. I'm not, like, intentionally trying to exploit the whole, like, you get full health and food at the end of season. But I'm also not going to go out of my way to heal when I know that we're about to have a season change. So let's go ahead and see if we can't get another extractor before season change. And the next question I have for you guys is what to do after I'm done with the extractor. If you're wondering what my choice would be, it would be, again, to expand the village. But ultimately, it's up to you. So let's see about heading to Piestovia for an extractor. Does the hammer use the same durability when you quick build? No, I think it's per swing. So quick craft also makes your hammers last like 10 times longer, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, that you look like a bad guy. Not in my backyard. Alright, I'm already pretty hurt from the last bandits I fought, so I'm going to eat a whole bunch of broadleaf plantains before fighting this next group. But I don't want this group setting up on the road. I mean, that's a big no-no. I'm the local lord, right? I am the law. So, let's lay down the law. Come on, plantains, where are you? Oh, here's a bunch. Perfect. That would be another good thing to have, is eventually, now that we can pay taxes with the things we produce pretty easily, getting the sort of support buildings that would be nice to have, like the herbalist hut, so I can brew my own healing potions, rather than having to eat, like, stuff my face with broadleaf plantains like I'm playing Skyrim with cheese wheels. Why does the guy up there look dead? Oh, because he is dead. This is where we saved Oscar. It just hasn't despawned. So for those who don't remember, Oscar was being held hostage in that crate, and we rescued him. And this is the camp that we rescued him from. So, I came to... I think what happened was their bodies, once I zoned in, were, like, T-posing, and then, like, fell limp. And I thought they were moving around. Well, that solves that mystery. Yeah, think I've been here? Yeah, with all the dead bodies. What gave it away? All right, I'm back on track. Now, the other thing I'd hope to do, because I know that I don't have a lot of lumber at home, is maybe spend some of my coin buying wood. It's relatively expensive, but I don't want to wait for my extractors to extract because it takes a while. So once I get into town, I'll try to shop around for that as well. Oops, don't run them over. Okay, the villagers to hire. I'm looking for someone that has extraction skills. So extraction is the first. Looks like a mining pick. So you have a skill of 2, you have a skill of 2, you have a skill of 3. So Miroslava, you're hired. Things we need to do. We'll give her a house. And a job. And then go to the workplace. Oops. Which is the second woodshed. And set up her actual work, which is just logs. And then accept. And then change intensity. So she cuts logs every day. Done. The last thing we want to do is to rename that house. I think that's her name. Miroslava. Yep. Cool. That task is done. Alright, before all of the vendors go to sleep for the night, let's see if I can't buy some logs as well. You think Oscar should have an accident? Oscar also happens to be too young to actually do real work, but on top of that, he has more skills than anyone else does. So it might not be in my best interest for him to like fall out a window. Alright, this guy is the one that I need to talk to. Sell me your logs. 31 logs for 46 coin. That's actually not bad at all. Okay. The next goal. Expand the resource storage. You guys wanted me to expand the village, and that is what I'm choosing to do. So, for reference, I now have access, because we leveled up, to level 2 resource building, which is higher durability. Now, the TLDR of most of the resource buildings, as they level up, they become more durable and require less maintenance. And then some of them will offer new production facilities as well. So, for instance, the regular workshop at Tier 2 has a potter wheel, as an example. Is there an apprentice option for teenage villagers? Yes, there is, and he is an apprentice hunter, training under Ferdinand. So, for reference, he's got his highest skill was hunting. Although, we could have him apprentice as extraction. Because I think probably wood cutting is what we're going to need more than anything else, because I really just don't want to have to cut a lot of my own trees. So how about we do this? Should Oscar apprentice as a woodcutter? Yay or nay?
Onward.
Either way, he'll work every day. There's this quick little poll up there. Feels weird to watch me live? I've never watched me live, so I know how you feel. Sorry, not sorry. All right, with some of these logs, I'm going to want to turn some of them into firewood, because I know we were kind of low on firewood. And then the rest of them we can use for the expansion project. So the issue with the expansion project that I had planned, and this is going to be in storages for resource storage tier 2. So the resource storage tier 2 has a bigger range and capacity than the simpler version, and we're really looking after the capacity. The problem is, as you can see, I'm going to need a lot more raw resources than I currently have, which means despite the fact that I really don't like to resource extract myself, I don't have much of a choice. Unless we try to go buy the resources, that's entirely, I suppose, reasonable. I think, given the time left in the day, I'm going to do a little bit of mining before season change, rather than cut down trees, because minerals... Oh, here I'm eating right before season change. But again, I wasn't trying to exploit this season change. Because your ores regenerate between seasons. And now that we have access to, like, bronze, I might as well be making as much out of bronze as possible. Mining falls under extraction, right? Yeah, it does. However, the extraction huts... An actual mine is not something I'm going to be able to build in the near future. I think is maybe the gentlest way of putting it. So, although mining is an extraction activity, if I hired an extractor, it would probably, interestingly, be for limestone. And the reason for that is limestone allows you to insulate people's houses, which keep them happier. And I'd rather have the miners that I hire be mining limestone, because limestone is actually kind of annoying for the player to get. It's not hard for the player to get, but you just have to mine a bunch of rocks on the side of the road. It's kind of boring. So, I would rather have a miner work on limestone collection so I can start insulating everyone's houses and keep them happier. How far along are we? Oh yeah, that's a good recap. Bronze tools and a donkey. And it looks like you guys want Oscar to apprentice as a woodcutter. Okay. So Oscar is helping the woodshed now. And when he turns 18, he'll be a full-fledged worker, and he'll be able to actually do quite a lot of work because he will have much higher than default skills. Generally speaking, the people that you hire have a skill of like 3. He'll probably have a skill of 6 or 7 by then, so he'll be able to cut down a lot more trees per day. Actually, I shouldn't even call it cutting down trees, because that's kind of wrong. Technically speaking, the resource extractors generate logs. Cutting down trees would be incorrect because they don't actually cut down trees. They just generate logs. Or whatever resource you set them on. Twigs, logs, or sticks, logs, firewood, etc. Planks. I don't... what time is it? It is 44 minutes until midnight when seasons change. And for those that don't remember, when seasons change, you full heal, you full rest, you get teleported back to your bed, your assigned bed, and then all of the resources in mines, like, reset. So I'm just trying to take advantage of the season change by, like, mining up some copper and tin before I'm teleported. So it's got, like, 2 minutes in here before season's end. Here, as you can see the time. So it's 42. Now, another thing I might do, if you don't want me to have to collect the timber myself, I could go questing or buy it. I could make money through selling like bronze tools and then go buy the wood needed for the resource stockpile. And I kind of like that better anyway, just because I can make a lot more money to buy the timber. Here we go. I can make a lot more money to buy the timber faster than cutting down the trees myself. So I probably won't end up cutting down the trees myself. So now that it is summer, I'm going to take off my winter clothing because I'll overheat. And put on basic shoes instead. Do you get a reputation from questing? You do, yes. So here's what I'm trying to build, as a little reminder. The resource storage tier 2. And some of the cost that you see associated, because I'm upgrading from tier 1 to tier 2, will be reduced. So it's not, I don't actually need all 92 logs. A lot of those logs are already incorporated in the building when you upgrade. So I need maybe like 60 of them. So that's what I'm aiming to do. I would like to buy it though. And then also when I'm in town, I can talk to Posnamir about the beetroots. Because he had given me beet seeds in order to like build market his beetroots. And he contracted me to make the beets, or grow the beets for him. Which means I probably should change that farm field if the beets are done. Oops. And then maybe grow flax instead. So let's see. Farm fields. Beets. Oops. No, it's not the harvest season. Harvest season's in the fall. Got it. They're just growing right now. Alright. Other things. Bronze tools. I don't yet have a bronze hoe. I'm going to buy the blueprint for it, and a scythe. I'm going to make a bronze hoe and a bronze scythe to help my farmer farm better. Because right now I only have one farmer and I have like 5 fields. So the more help I can offer, the better, I think. And then the rest of my bronze will go to bronze knives for sale. Because most of my own personal tools are in pretty good condition, so I'm not going to need to replace them immediately. And then the sale of all these bronze knives will allow me to buy... wood so that I can upgrade the resource storage. Also, before thanks, Yoda fan, you crapped on me. Before I forget, collect some manure, turn it into fertilizer, and then see if there's anything to thresh. There is rye. There's 42 rye grain to thresh. So if you don't remember to thresh your grain regularly, what ends up happening is you won't get the seeds back in order to plant more. So it's important to continually remember to thresh your grain. At this point, because I have like quick craft, normally if you didn't have quick craft, you would have a barn worker be doing this for you. But like my dude's just doing it all for himself. And then let's go ahead and make some animal feed out of oat, rye, and straw. So our current farm fields are growing rye and oat so that we can thresh it for oat, rye, straw in order to make animal feed. Because otherwise, if you buy animal feed, it's rather expensive. Fertilizer, rye grain, lots of straw. And now if I have thatch roofs to make, you know, I have lots of straw as well. Okay, so that solves that. Now we are heading into town to buy wood. Because I don't want to wait for them to cut it, because they take too long.
Dang, it's hot.
I can also check the notice board to see if there's any new notices. Machiavelli, thank you for the resub. Well, no bandits have tried to murder me on the road, so that's, like, decent. There was also no season change differences, so often when your villagers get in a relationship, it happens between seasons, and this past season changed, nothing happened. But I suspect the more people that you have, the more likely you are to get events of that nature, so maybe that will change over time. Thank you for tuning in to Medieval Dynasty, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you would like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow medieval villagers.